You will learn 86% of words after you read them 8 times. There was a study done by scientists who were trying to measure how many times you need to read one word in order to understand this word. They asked people who learn English as their second language to read a story, and this story had a lot of new words for them. And when the person read the same word 4 times, he was able to read this word so much faster. They basically tracked his eye movements, and after he read the same word 8 times in the story, he was able to even understand what this word means based on the context. Of course, he didn't understand like all the words. He was able to understand like 86%, or sometimes it was from 50 to 86%. So, I mean, it's still mind-blowing. Like, imagine you read the same word 8 times and you're able to understand what this word means, by just reading it. But most importantly, you can actually learn new words by just reading books without like doing anything else. That's the reason why I started reading books. And I read my first book when I was 15 years old. The book was called Harry Potter. You probably know this book. It was hard to read. It took me almost like a year to read just one book. I also struggled to understand this book. I struggled to like find the right posture to sit in. I was like just like reading the book and like, damn, it's so uncomfortable. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to read this book? I just didn't know anything about reading. And so it took me a whole fucking year to finish just one book. But I did it. And by the end of this book, I was able to read a lot faster. And so I read my next book in just 3 months. And after that, like, it was no problem for me to read just one book in a week, or maybe even less. So how do you do the same thing? How can you accomplish the same goal? I've made a pretty easy plan for you to follow in order to start reading books. The first thing you need to do is to find the book, So how do you find the book? I mean, what is the book that is going to be perfect for you? And I'm going to explain to you how to actually find the book. And now we need to find a website to actually access all the books. So the website I'm going to be using is called Google Play. You probably know this website. And now we just need to go to books. And as you can see, there's a lot of different books here. So how do you actually choose the book? It is pretty simple. We need to go to ChatGPT and we just need to type in give me, and now we need to specify which books we want to get. So let's say you watch a lot of TV shows, movies, YouTube just for entertainment. So the best type of books for you will be fiction books. So fiction books are just for entertainment. It's like a story. Harry Potter is also a fiction book. So let's type in fiction books, and we can also specify how many books we want to get. Let's say 10. And we will get 10 different books. By the way, there's Harry Potter, Awesome. So there are 10 books which we can read right now. But honestly, some of them are pretty hard to read. So we can say my level of English is, let's say, B1. Give me 10 fiction books. And it's going to give us 10 fiction books that are suited to our level of English. So you can just type in my level of English is A1 or B1 or B2, and it's going to give you all the different books. So for example, we want the book The Little Prince. So we can just copy the name of the book and go to the bookstore. Then we just need to search for this book. There's something strange in this fucking. So we just need to search for The Little Prince. And we're going to get the book itself. It doesn't cost a lot of money, by the way. So when we go to this book, it costs money. But what we can do is, if you need to figure out should you read this book or not, we can just open up the free sample. And you can just go through the book, find out if this book is really for you. If you think that this book is for you, like, you enjoy reading this book, you understand what this book is about, then you can continue reading. You can buy this book. But of course, some people don't have money to actually buy the book. So what you can do is you can just do something like this. The Little Prince book free PDF. And we're going to find a free PDF file of the book. We can read this book until the end without paying money. It's not really a great thing to do to just steal books from the internet. But honestly, I did the same thing. Like when I didn't have money, I used to just steal books from the internet like this. But then I realized that, well, if I steal books, I don't even end up reading them. What's the point? So I started buying books. And when I started buying books with my own money, I ended up reading them. So of course it's up to you. If you don't have money, you can just go and search for the free version of the book on the internet. But honestly, if you do have some money and you actually want to end up reading the book, you should definitely buy it. But it's completely fine to download them for free because, well, I actually read a bunch of books for free too. So let's say you don't want to read fiction books like, this Little Prince book is for children. Like, what the fuck? I don't want to read this book. So instead, you can ask ChatGPT to give you different books. So we can just copy the give me 10. And let's say you love watching self-improvement content on YouTube. You want to improve yourself. So we can just ask ChatGPT to give us self-improvement books. And it's going to give us 10 self-improvement books that we can read, you know? The Power of Now. By the way, I'm reading this book right now, The Power of Now. So we can just copy the name of the book and paste it into the Google Play. The Power of Now. And as you can see, there is the book. We can just like open the free sample and start reading this book and see if we like this book or not. You can do this on your phone. You can do this on your computer, on your tablet. So it's not a problem. If you want to read a comedy book, you can certainly do this. Like, give me 10 comedy books. And it's going to give us 10 comedy books. What the fuck? So, I mean, searching for books is really easy, especially with ChatGPT. And so now you understand how to find, buy, or steal the book. And let's go to the second step, which is start reading. So when you start reading, when you actually find the right book for you, when you like read first 20 pages and you know that, you know, it's the book, like it's the book that I'm gonna read. Now to actually finish this book, the only thing you need to do is to just read the book. A lot of people are writing down new words in a notebook for some reason. You know, they're trying to like, oh, I definitely need to check this word in the dictionary. I need to translate this word. You know, what if I don't understand this sentence? What happens? Whatever, doesn't fucking matter. Like, honestly, when I read books and I don't understand a sentence, I just go to the next sentence. I continue reading. I don't stop there because like I will just spend years reading one single book when I like try to understand every single sentence, every single word. You know, it's not really helpful and it's going to be especially hard for you. So why not make it easier for yourself? Why not just read the book without actually doing anything else? Another reason for just reading books without memorizing, without like practicing new words is because, well, you actually learn new words by just being exposed to them. So in the beginning, I was talking about how people actually learn new words by just reading them, you know, by just reading them 8 times. And after that, they will actually remember the word. So why not do the same thing? Why not just like read the book and then after 8 times or so, you will understand what this word means naturally with your own intuition, you know, because like our brains are powerful and I mean, that's how actually they learn new words. They don't learn new words by just like, oh, yeah, this is the meaning of this word. Like, I'm going to remember this meaning every time I read this word. And like, yeah, I'm going to understand this. No, they learn new words by associations, you know? If there's a word and there's a picture, the brain will just associate this word to a picture, you know? And the same thing happens with sentences. If there's one word and there's another word, your brain will associate one word to another, you know? And like your brain will also associate one sentence to another sentence. So I mean, what's the point of going to dictionary, especially for a beginner? Well, sometimes you need to go to the dictionary. So it happens usually like 10% of the times. You know, like if there's a word that you don't understand, like and like it is very important and you just can't understand what this word means. So in these situations, you definitely need to go to the dictionary, but it happens rarely. So just try to read a book as fast as you can and like also understand what this book is about. Like you don't have to read the book, like go through the pages and don't understand anything. You still have to like try to understand what this book is about. So let's go to the third step. Third step is turn off all notifications and like buzzers and like phones and whatever. So if you're reading on your phone, you should definitely turn off all notifications. So you're reading a book, like everything's fine, and then your phone rings. You're like, bruh, it's my friend. I need to answer his message, you know? So you end up checking your messages and you end up like going to YouTube, you know, you end up scrolling on Instagram or whatever. You end up texting your friend and before you know it, you wasted a bunch of time. Now you don't want to read. Now you want to like, I don't know, oh, there's a cool video on YouTube. I need to watch it right now. Like, you know, I can read later. And so that happens all the time. And that's what happened to me. So turn off all notifications on your phone. And like, you will thank me later, honestly. I mean, that's why libraries are so quiet. When you go to a library and you sit there for, I don't know, maybe like an hour, you will notice how wide the library is. So why not do the same thing when you're at home? You know, just like make library in your own house. If there's loud noises and notifications in your home, like where you're trying to read a book, you won't be able to read at all. Trust me. So what you can do is you can just plug in headphones or even earplugs, you know, this thing like in your ears, and you're not gonna hear anything, almost. So if you can't go to a quiet room and like start reading in a quiet room, so just try to eliminate noise as much as possible. And the last fourth step is to set a reminder. So basically what you can do is you can grab a piece of paper, and write down something like, let's say, read at 6 p.m. for 15 minutes. And basically place this reminder where you can see it. So you can basically put this on your wall if you want to. And you'll basically never forget to read. And the reason why I set only 15 minutes is because sometimes you won't feel like reading. Sometimes you'll feel like, I guess today is not the day. Like, I don't want to read today. I don't have time. I just want to play Minecraft. So when that happens, is that a lot of time for you? You can even set 5 minutes, honestly. You can just read for 5 minutes a day. No problem. The thing is, when you don't want to read, you will just read for 15 minutes. But when you do want to read, when you do have motivation to read, you're gonna end up spending 2 hours instead of 15 minutes. So again, just set a simple reminder and place it somewhere where you can see it every single day. And that's all you need to do to read every single day and finish your first book in no time. So if you want to, you can watch my speaking guide, and I see you in the next one. Bye.